Mage is S tier. Everybody else, D tier. What is up? Fire Mage just got some insane changes, and we're going to go over all of them right now. But first, hit subscribe. Let's get into it. All right. We're on the PTR right now, and this is the spec I'm using. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm putting 2 points in Arcane Sub. The first 5 points doesn't really matter. You can go Impact or Fireball, but definitely you want the new talents you're going to want to take at 60 is going to be Improved Fire Blast, since you can press it on CD. I took these two in case you want your Scorch to crit, but it doesn't really matter. Your Fire Blast is always going to crit now with the new Cape Rune. I put 1 point in here because I just didn't have anywhere else to put it. But other than that, it's the same spec as before. But in the Frost Tree, there's going to be some new talents you're going to get. You need 3 in Piercing Ice for the 3% damage done by Frost. And then you're going to want Cold Snap so you can reset the cooldown on your Icy Veins. All right, that's pretty much the talent build here. I'll put a link to that in the description below. You're going to want Hot Streak Rune on the helmet now. This is the biggest change for a Fire Mage in general, Mage in general, and in SoD, is that they moved it from the belt slot to the helmet slot. Now you don't have to choose between Hot Streak and Frost Firebolt. Everybody knows Mage is a 1-button rotation. It's just Frost Firebolt as much as you can. Now you have Hot Streak, so you can occasionally press Pyroblast, making it a 2-button rotation, and you can Fire Blast off the GCD. So now it's a 3-button rotation, but we're going to get even crazier here, and you actually still do need to maintain Living Bomb uptime. It's a 5 stacks of Scorch, and then it's a 4-button rotation now. And you press sometimes 2 buttons at the same time. I'll show you later. Let's go ahead and go into all this. Just make sure that you keep the same build as before. You're going to have, let's just go over the top right here. You're going to do Hot Streak for the head rune, Burnout on the chest, Frost Firebolt, of course, on the waist, Icy Veins on your legs, Spell Power on the feet, as well as Molten Armor on the wrist, and then your hands, we are still doing Living Bomb for that. And then the new stuff, the new finger runes is going to be Fire and Frost, and the back will be Overheat, so you can press Fire Blast off the GCD and it will always crit. As far as gear goes, I'm using a lot of hit items. I'm using the Visage, the Star of Mysteria, I'm using the Atal Prophet Cape, I'm using the Cursed Slime Scale Bracers, the Sorcerer's Belt has hit, and I believe that's it. But right now, we're using around 6 to 7% hit. If you're getting a lot of resist on the Patchwork target, you might want to consider upping your hit up around 6 to 7% on top of having the Elemental Precision and the Arcane Sub so that you're not getting resist. What we can do is go ahead and test out a target dummy, and I'll break down the rotation for you. Before you open, you want to make sure you have Molten Armor and your Arcane Intellect, all your buffs. You know, you could do Supreme Power, you could do Mage Blood for MP5, Firepower now on top of Frost Power, as well as your Knife and Soup for mana back. And you want to have a Brilliant Wizard Oil on your weapon. I still have one for 16 minutes. As well as you need Greater Arcane Intellect. Okay, now we're fully buffed. I'll go ahead and show you just a basic rotation on a target dummy, and you can try and see if you can beat my DPS or whatnot, and we'll just go with that. Before the pull, I'll usually open with a Pyroblast. When that's in the air, I'll send a Pyroblast just before it hits, and then pop my Combustion with Icy Veins. You're going to put a Living Bomb on the target, and as soon as you get a crit, if you ever hear the little lion roar, that means you have an instant Pyroblast proc or Hot Streak proc, and you need to always press your Pyroblast when that happens. One thing that you want to make sure that you don't do is when you do have a Hot Streak proc, you don't want to press Fire Blast. You want to hold it until you get your Pyroblast off, because you don't want to proc another one while you have a. You don't want to like proc a Hot Streak on top of a Hot Streak proc. It's kind of a loss of DPS. All right, so yeah, you do run out of mana pretty quickly on a target dummy. I was doing like 1.6k DPS there with no raid buffs. And I can show you when you are fully raid buffed with like a Moonkin and a Warlock in your group about how much damage you can do. I don't have Cold Snap, guys. This could be bad. What is the range on Fire Blast? This is... Farmer Farms 3,500. Oh my god, dude. Hit is just the dumbest thing you can do on a mage, I guess. You just stack damage. My man's playing a different game than the rest of us. I'm getting beat by a rogue. What is this? I'm doing 2,700 DPS. I gotta come back in the fourth quarter, boys. Come back in the fourth quarter. Yeah! I came back in the fourth quarter, boys. Not bad. 3K DPS. Just under Farmer Farms. Assassin rogues going in. There's no way Farmer Farms got an innervate. 3K DPS. So there you have it, boys. I'm going to show you a couple of DPS meters from one of the other 10 patchwork pulls that I did today. It was pretty much all casters on the top. At the very end there, I did see like one assassination rogue kind of come in there. But melee were virtually non-existent on any of the meters at this point in the PTR. So hopefully we'll see some balance changes coming soon. If you have any questions about Fire Mage, feel free to ask me in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'm SoD, and I'll see you next time. Mages S tier, everybody else D tier.